Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time visiting me. Hello, hello, hello. I am going to be sharing with you all of my favorite things and just things from November. So if you're into the idea of a monthly show and tell, you're in the right place. We're going to get into it. I'm going to be talking about decks and makeup and other stuff. Let's get started. Let's start off with memories. And I don't know where November went. November, bye November. I don't know what happened. But the big memory I have to share is that I've just continued to make forward progress with Francesca on the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. If you missed it, I did a full kind of road so far, catching you up to where we're at now, sort of style update. I will link that up in the cards, that side. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I'll link it up in the cards so you can check it out. I'll also have it linked down below. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm in the process of creating a tarot deck. I'm working with an artist. It's super fun. It's all I ever think about anymore right now. So, yeah, that's what I have to report. Other than that, I feel like November went by very, 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 very quickly. So, YouTube things. If you missed it, me, Danny, and Dustin, we have a mutual collaboration channel called Three Fat Readers. Danny of Danny Mystic, Dustin of Modern Metaphysique, and myself. And we had an episode in November all about professional reading. So we answered all of the, I shouldn't say we answered all of them. There were a lot of questions. We may have to have a part two. We answered a lot of questions about professionally reading tarot for paying clients, and sort of our experiences, thoughts on ethics and boundaries and pricing and just all that stuff. So if you are really curious about pro reading stuff, you will definitely want to check that out. And we had a great time hanging out as per usual. I also wanted to mention Julie over at Peekaboo Rose did a super fun video called Tenacious Tarot, I believe, where she shared a really fun solitaire sort of game. You can also play it with other people. That's like a memory matching game that I have not tried, but I'm really excited to try. So check that out. That was super fun. Another YouTube favorite was Squirmy and Grubs. So I've talked about this channel before. Squirmy and Grubs are an interabled married couple. I really enjoy watching their channel. They just launched a podcast called Junkyard Mayhem, so it's super fun. They put the episodes up on YouTube, and then I think they're also putting them up on all the podcasting platforms, but I've been really enjoying watching those. There's been a couple of episodes in November, which is when they launched it. And if you get a chance to watch Dawn Michelle's It Takes a Village video, I will link that as well. That was super fun to watch, and there's been a couple of really cool video responses that have been coming out, so I definitely recommend that one too. That's it for YouTube. It's time to talk body and beauty. This is the section where I like to show and tell some of my favorite beauty products, makeup products, nail polish, that kind of thing. Things I've been enjoying in November. The first thing I want to show you is this bronzer stick. I've been really, really enjoying this. I am somebody who likes to have face products in compacts or palettes, or in a thing that I can dip a brush into. So I tend to not really reach for stick products, but I have a stick bronzer and a stick highlight sort of thing that I've both been really enjoying. But I want to talk about this because I've been wearing this a ton. This is the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. I don't know what the actual product name is. I'll put it in the description down below. The shade I've been wearing is called Happy Soul. This actually has a cap that clicks on. But it's a really creamy product. It's really interesting. I have to barely touch this to my skin wherever I want a little bit of bronzer, and the color comes right off, and then it really blends super seamlessly and really, really easy. This, to me, if you were going to try a stick bronzer, like cream bronzer, this would be a really foolproof one to try because it's so easy to put it where you want it and then blend it. It didn't leave a line behind. Everything went where I wanted it to go. It behaved. It's great. So I've been using this. I actually finally used up my Kosas. I had a Kosas 2 palette with 2 creams in it, a highlighter and a blush technically, but I've been using the blush as bronzer. That product is called Tropic Equinox, and I literally panned the entire thing. So I'm finally onto a new bronzer. This is not a category I usually have multiple products in, so I just have one bronzer. This is the one I'm using. I'm loving it. I also want to talk about this lip combo. So this is what I've been wearing a lot. I'm wearing this right now. This is the Merit, I'm really bad at knowing the product, title of the product. But Merit is the brand. This is their lipstick line. Hopefully it's not too thumbprinty. But it's this color called Millennium Pink. It's really, really pretty. So I've been wearing this with a Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fussy. This is a little mini. Hello. So these two, let me just roll up the lipstick so you can kind of see how the colors look next to each other. Let's see if I can do this and still block what's behind me. So you can kind of see how those shades play off of each other. It's a really pretty lip combo. So this formula is really, really nice. They're kind of sheer, so it's like a not lipstick lipstick. It's a lipstick. It feels like a lipstick, but it's somehow, it's creamy. It's like, it's kind of like, I don't want to call it like a lip balm lipstick hybrid, because I kind of feel like the Ilia lip ones are kind of like that, the balmy tints. This feels like a more lipsticky version of the balmy tint. Like you get sheer color on the first swipe, but then you can build it up really easy. It's creamy, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna like, it doesn't feel as oily as like a balm. I'm really bad at describing this, but this is a really lovely lipstick formula. Anyway, I've been really, really enjoying this, and I'm a huge fan of the Fenty Gloss Bombs. I love these. I always have one of these like on me or near me, like on my purse, in a pocket. Love, love, love these. And the shade Fussy is like a pinker version of the Universal Glow, which was their very first color they launched in this formula. I love that. Love it. Other makeup-y things. I guess this isn't really makeup. Well, this is a makeup-y thing. So I have things combined here. I used up my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I love this product. I have another one already that I'm already using. This is such a great primer. Like I feel like it does a really good job of like smoothing this area on my cheeks out before I put my makeup on, and it doesn't feel drying. It doesn't feel makeup-y. It feels more like skincare than like makeup, and I really, really enjoy it. So I have another one in their cookie scent, so it smells more vanilla-y, but I really, really like this. I finally used it all up, so I had to just talk about that. And I used up 2 perfume samples in the month of November. These are both from Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab, which is an indie perfume place. This one is called, it's like so torn, so I could check how much was in there. So this one's called Jack. I don't know why I'm showing. It's not very fun to show. Jack is like the perfect fall scent. I've already ordered a full size of this. And I think it's like $18 or something like that for a full size. Maybe a little less. I can't remember. But Jack, this smells like, I don't know, like apples and pumpkins and spices, and like, it's just really yummy fall. I don't know if I have the notes right. Like I'm really bad at that sort of thing. This one I just finished off like today. And this one is called Alice. Again, there's nothing really much to show, but I used up the entire thing. This one smells like candied roses. That's probably the best way I know how to express it. It's kind of like a sweet rose scent. It reminds me a lot of Lush's Rose Jam scent, if you know that scent. It reminds me a lot of that, and I love that scent. And I don't normally like rose scents, but the sweetness to it just changes it, makes it more interesting, and I really enjoy it. Nail polish time. So there are 3 polishes I used in November. One is definitely my absolute favorite. So this polish I used a ton. You're going to see it a ton actually throughout December, because I filmed my tarot deck and oracle deck and Lenormand deck collection wearing this polish. So this is Hollow Taco Purple with Envy, and it's a duochrome. It's really pretty. I don't know if the duochrome will pick up on camera, but it kind of shifts blue purple most of the time. But funny thing about this color, yeah, I don't know if it's going to show, I guess you can kind of see the shifts there. In underwater, like at the pool, this turned like yellow green to me. It was a really cool effect. Oh, you can kind of, I can see that yellow green shift. Hold on, let's see if I can get the fingerprints off of it and get it to show. Oh, it's not going to show on camera. If you get it at just the right angle, you'll get that flash of like yellow green, or, oh man, I can't get it to do it, but it's doing it right here. It's like red, then it's green, then it's yellow, then it's purple and blue. I don't, but you can't see it. Most of the time it was blue purple, like in regular lighting, blue purple, really pretty. Love that. And then this color, this is Mooncat Poseidon's Prize. Oh, this is a magnetic. It's really pretty. When I applied this, I did not have the patience to do the magnet part right, so I did get a little bit of that sort of 3D effect, but not a ton of it. But it's a beautiful color, and it has a ton of dimension when you use the magnet especially. But this was the show stealer for me personally. This is so pretty, and these both have a bit of duochrome to them. This has a slight purple shift. This one here has like a red blue shift, kind of. It's really, really pretty. Let's see if I can get it to show. So the shift, hold on. So this is also kind of duochromy. Let's see if I can get the purple. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. It does some really cool things, but this is also a magnetic. Hello, I want to get the glare off. So it's got a lot of like hollow shimmer in it. And then this one, when you use the magnet, is spectacular. Like it's spectacular. It's so pretty. And this wore so well. In fact, both of these wore really, really well. I feel like the Mooncat polishes I'm getting more wear out of, and I'm not sure what's different about them because I kind of feel like for the most part, most nail polishes tend to wear similarly on me. But this one especially, it just like wore and wore and wore. By 7, 8, I think it was like 9 days, I had tip wear and like the tiniest chip. And other than that, nothing. It was perfection. I will definitely be wearing this one again. All right, that is it for makeup, beauty, perfume, all that nail polish, all that kind of stuff. Let's talk TV and movies real quick. So the TV highlight for me in November was absolutely watching the season finale of Love is Blind, season 3. With my friend Marlena. She and I watched it, synced up together, and then we would pull cards before each couple like gave the final answer on if they're saying I do or not I do. It was so fun. I've never done that with a friend before where we like watch something and then like pull cards and compare notes and then like see how it all plays out. It was really, really, really fun. So I loved doing that in November. The only other TV movie thing I really have to report, I believe, for November is that I finally watched for the first time Disney's Tangled, which I did mostly because Dawn Michelle mentioned it was her favorite, and we're both playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I just wanted to know more about Mother Gothel, if I'm being completely honest, because she's kind of a fun, sassy character in Dreamlight Valley, and I was like, is she like that in the movie? Obviously she is. So I watched it. It was super cute. I will totally watch that one again. It was a fun movie. And now it's time to talk about food. So I have 3 things to report, and 2 of them I kind of have to show because I'm drinking one of them right now. Holiday drinks are back at Starbucks. My cup is like peeling. Holiday drinks are back at Starbucks, and I got my favorite, and the one I'm drinking now, is a chestnut praline latte. I love this latte so much. I've definitely talked about this in favorites and show and tell videos in the past. Every holiday season, I pretty much drink this, and peppermint mochas. For me, the pumpkin spice season is very, very short. Like the pumpkin spice latte comes out, I get really excited. I have like 3 of them, and then I'm done, and I'm back to other drinks. And then this comes out though, and I drink this for as long as it's available every single time. When we were able to buy, by getting really lucky, bottles of the syrup, I used to make chestnut praline lattes at home all the time. It's so good. Another food thing that's really fun, cottage cheese pancakes. So I heard about these, got obsessed with the idea, looked up a recipe and made them, and they're really good. I don't know that I would go out of my way to make them often, but they're really yummy. So if you like cheese, if you like cottage cheese, I guess you kind of have to like that if you want to try cottage cheese pancakes. But it's basically cottage cheese, like a lot of cottage cheese, flour, baking powder, vanilla, egg, oil. That's basically it. And then all stirred up. It makes a pretty thick and chunky batter. And like to the point where I had to scoop it into the pan and then sort of manually spread it for it to cook. But they were fluffy, and there was these little pockets of like melty cheese in the pancake. They were really good. They were really good, and they were really substantial. And obviously with cottage cheese, they have a lot more like protein than a standard pancake. So I guess in that way, kind of more satisfying in a way as well. They were really good. They were really good. And lastly, I totally just picked these up on a whim. Decided to take a chance because I do sometimes love this flavor. I picked up some chips. Okay, I'm going to unclip the bag so I can show you the actual full label. These are Kettle brand. Hold on. Paper rustling. All the paper rustling. I'm sorry. These are Kettle brand, but the flavor is honey Dijon. Oh my God, these are so good. Like, the funny thing is, I'll sometimes, let me stop the crinkling. Hold on. I will sometimes take snacks like this to work, and then I'll munch on them at work, and then I'll keep them there, and I'll just munch on them occasionally at work. I opened this bag on Friday. Today is Saturday. I opened this bag on Friday. I didn't actually have as much as it looks because these bags are not that full, but I could not leave them there. I had to bring them home so I could munch on them this weekend because they're so good. They're so good. So yummy. All right, that's it for food. That's all I can think of that I want to report on. Next up, let's talk about random stuff. I have a few random things I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is a game that I played, started, played, and finished. I'm pretty sure all in the month of November. Well, at least I finished it in November. I don't think I started it. It is for the Switch. It's an independent game, I believe, called Strange Horticulture. This was a really cool game. It had some dark themes, but it was really fun. It was a puzzle-based game, but the premise of the game essentially is that you're manning sort of a horticulture shop. You're a horticulturist, I guess. So you have all these plants, and you have like some tools and like a book and like a map, and customers come to your door. So each, like, your gameplay is divided up into chunks of customers called days. So you have a day, however many customers are going to come in on that day will come in, and each one will come in and they'll tell you something, and then they'll ask for a particular like remedy for like a plant. And so then you have to look at all your plants and then kind of go through your book and like figure out which plant they're looking for, because they'll usually describe it or they'll ask for it by name, and then you'll have to look up that entry in your book and then like read the description and try to figure that out, what plant that is off your shelf. I'm making it sound kind of boring, I feel like, but it's really fun. And there's a storyline that runs through it, and you have all these different possible endings. So I will probably play it again. It definitely has massive replay value, because you definitely have things that come up that give you different choices. And then based on how you handle those choices will determine how the game will end. And there's a story. I mentioned there's a story. It was fun. And small games like that I can finish feel really satisfying to me for some reason. So I really wanted to share about that. This next thing I want to share, because it's such a classic divination thing. And I've had the same one for a really long time. I finally got a new one. So this was actually sent to me as a gift, but I got the Oak, Ash, and Thorn little divination coin, and you guys, this is the sweetest, coolest yes no sort of divination tool ever. First of all, can we just talk about the fact, like, look at this. So you have your sweet little character here with a bumblebee on one side, and then on the back side you have this little sleeping critter. Oh my god, they're so cute. So this is a bunny. The one on the front looks like a mouse. These are from the actual deck. The scenes are from the actual deck, but this has some like heft and weight. It feels so magical. So I finally have a new divination coin, and it's really exciting. So I had to share because it's super fun. This next thing is kind of a fun self-care thing. If you've been watching these show and tells for a long time, you've probably heard me talk about sleep masks. I especially really like sleep masks in the wintertime, but I typically will wear them almost all year round. I really like having something that blocks the light, but more than that, it kind of, I don't know, there's something about it that feels very soothing to me. It's not even just the light blocking, although that's really nice. It's almost like I like the ritual of having something that like signals it's sleepy time now. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. So I have talked about all kinds of sleep masks on this channel. I have this like weighted one that came in a subscription box. This one is not good for sleeping because it slides all over the place, but I really enjoy it. This one is another kind of weighted one, but this one I think has lavender in it, and it's super cute. It has this furry side and this satiny side. This one has headphones that go in it, so if I want to listen to music. This one I made myself, and then I actually talked about this one a lot. Now this one is massive. I totally made this myself, but it's got like this full whole foamy wraparound bit. Anyway, I have been targeted by, wow, that sounds so dark. I've been targeted by the ads for the Manta sleep mask for ages. Instagram like knows that I like me some sleep masks, and it constantly tries to sell me the Manta sleep mask. I've thought about buying the Manta sleep mask many times because I'm just obsessed. I keep seeing the ads and I'm like, I want this. And then randomly, Manta Sleep actually reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in trying the mask and then sharing it with you guys if I like it. They did not pressure me. The mask showed up in the mail. I took it out. I put it on my face when I went to bed that night, and I have not gone a single night without using this mask since then, and that was like almost 3 months ago. So a couple months after wearing it every single night, I reached back to them and I said, okay, yeah, I like it. I did not want to accept money for talking about the mask or anything like that, but they did give me an affiliate link, so I will put that in the description box down below. But let me just talk to you about the mask first. You decide for yourself. I will say that some versions of this mask can get very expensive. If you've never seen the Manta mask, it looks a little bit like this. What's neat about this, and this is just the basic mask. They've got a pro one that's like really expensive that I also low-key kind of want and almost bought. And then I'm like, okay, slow your roll. I'm going to use this one for even longer before I decide, but I might get the pro because it just looks just that one step better, but it's so expensive. This one I feel like is much more reasonably priced, but the whole point, the premise of the Manta sleep mask is it's a Velcro sort of deal, except for these are not, it's like hook and loop. It's not Velcro, but it's hook and loop. But it's smooth. It's hard to describe. Like it totally catches and it's secure, but it's smooth, so it doesn't like catch my hair or anything. And then it's this really super soft, like almost velvety material anywhere where it could touch your skin. And then the really defining thing about these is that they have these removable eye cups, which is, I would not have thought this would have been a big deal, but it is such a big deal. I actually found out playing my Oculus Quest, my VR headset, that I have very close set eyes. In fact, I have to set the Oculus Quest to the smallest, and it's still a little too wide for me technically. So the neat thing about this is that you can remove the eye cups. You can actually position them wherever it makes sense for your eyes. And so I actually have to position them. Am I holding them backwards? No. I have to position them pretty close. And they're actually labeled so you know which side goes to which. So this says your nose, so you know to put this in towards the center of the mask. And these are hollowed out cups. So your eye goes in here. I also have really long eyelashes. So, and I don't know if they like knew that, but they sent me the bigger eye cup. So this is the standard eye cup that comes. I have it aimed funny, but you can just position it wherever you want. So when I'm positioning this for myself, the eye cups basically touch because that's how close set my eyes are, which probably explains why other contoured masks have been difficult for me, because if the contour of the cups are too wide apart, it's not going to fit my face right. So this one I can like adjust, which is great. The cups, actually, I don't know if you can tell, but they get flatter near your temples. And I do sleep on my side most of the time. And the funny thing is, I feel like most people complain about this being not comfy for side sleepers, but it's really super soft, like foam. It's like softer than pillow. Well, maybe it's about the same softness as pillow foam, I guess. I don't know. It's really soft and squishy, so I don't have a problem with it pushing against my temples in a weird way. But they sent me the bigger sleep cups. So these are the Manta Max. What are these called? Manta Max eye cups. And so these, I feel like they even come to a smaller taper at this side. And these are much bigger. So just to show you, where did it go? Here we go. So to show you the difference. So here is the standard eye cup, and here is the Max eye cup. So you have a much bigger space here. So if you're like me and you have longer eyelashes, or if you just feel like this feels too small, you just trade them out. So I actually use the mask with these bigger eye cups. So I kind of set mine up like that, where they're really close together, and then boom, you just put it on and wrap it around your head. It's amazing. It sometimes slips in the night, but most of the time it stays put. And the strap is wide and soft. So I usually put it like above my ear here, but sometimes just over the tip of my ears, and that seems really comfy. So I don't know. I really like it. It basically makes it blackout. So it's super dark, but it feels like you're in a dark room in a way, because you can, at least I can completely open and blink my eyes, and like, it's bizarre. It's so cool. Anyways, I really love this. So I am sharing about it. Anyway, bottom line, I really like it. I have not been without it. In fact, I just hand washed these Max eye cups because I don't want to have to wait for the laundry machine in case they're not dry in time for bed. So pretty attached to this. It's going to go everywhere with me. And I am really considering getting the Pro one. The difference is, from what I can tell, is that the Pro one's a little bit wider on the sides here where it goes over your ears. And it has this like more breathable material, but I have to admit I haven't gotten hot with this on, but it's also winter. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about that in the summer, but man, I am hooked. I am hooked. So that is it for random. Now let's talk about books. So I don't really have anything new to report that I've completely finished reading. I am currently reading The Night Circus with the Unicorn Fam. That is our book club pick that we are working through for November and December. I'm really enjoying the book so far. Stay tuned. I'll probably have more thoughts about that in December. But I did get a book in that I was waiting on from a Kickstarter that I wanted to share with you guys. So this is the Herbalist Primer. This is a really beautiful book. I have to admit though, like, this is gorgeous. I have nothing negative to say about it. What's really great about it is it has really proper like plant identification style illustrations in the book. And then when you read about the actual plant, it talks about its habitat, foraging and preparation, culinary, medicinal, and magical properties, as well as poisonous properties, if there are any. The interesting thing about this is this was actually originally developed for D&D players, but they did have, I forget which type of scientist, a planty scientist of some kind, review all of the information to make sure that it was accurate. So as much as it was designed to be a resource for people who play D&D, it's actually got a lot of really good information in here. But I got this in, and I have to admit, I was kind of like, yeah, but I like Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. So I don't know. I'm going to give it some time. I haven't decided yet if this is one that I'm going to ultimately keep over the long term. It is really cool, but I'm so used to using Cunningham's book that, like, even though I had just gotten this in when I went to do some magic and I wanted to look up correspondences, I still went to Cunningham's book. So this may have been not the greatest choice for me, but it's really beautiful. And if you're into plant properties or plant medicine, I think it's really gorgeous. I wouldn't recommend it as like an herbalism book because that's not what it's trying to be. It's more like general properties, but they did include some freebies. So there was this like herbalist notebook where you can write about other plants. Probably won't use that, but it was included. Cool, cool, cool. They also included this pamphlet or booklet called Song of the Hedge, which I believe is a little adventure, a little game for D&D players. And as well, a herbalist primer plant visual guides. This is like a poster you can kind of like hang up. And then on the back, it has plant generation tables. This might be over my head. I got 2 of these for some reason. I don't think that was intentional, but I ended up with 2 somehow. And honestly, I feel like the thing I'm kind of the most excited about is this was like a stretch goal. And it's just herbalist flashcards. So it's all the information that's in the book, but in a little deck of cards. I mean, the cardstock's really flimsy and papery. My biggest issue with this, as cool as this is to have, you have your plant illustrations on the front, and then you have information on the back. The text is so tiny. I'm like, I mean, I get that my eyes are getting older and I need to use my reading glasses more often, but like, it's real tiny. So this is kind of a fun novelty, but I feel like I could actually use this to help identify plants. Somebody's probably gonna be like, that's really not a good idea. And you might be right. I don't know. But I feel like it gives me, like, shows me what the stem looks like, what the leaf or the fruit looks like. And if that part has been reviewed for accuracy, so I feel like that part's kind of neat. But then I'm like, will I ever actually use this? I don't know. So I do have some mild regret, not because it's not beautiful, just because I think I've realized that I may or may not actually use this. Anybody else in the same boat with me on stuff like this? Oops. So that's it for books. I'm going to share with you some thoughts on some decks that I have been using through the month of November, and then I'm going to have a little blurb to show you some decks that have come in. But first off, decks I've been working with, and then I'll show you the new stuff. So throughout November, I basically worked with only 2 decks. I worked with let's get it out of its bag so you can see it. I worked with the Carta Postal Tarot, and I worked with the Divine Muses Oracle. So these 2 decks paired so well together. So if you haven't seen Carta Postal, it is like vintage photographs or vintage postcards or however you want to look at it. But it's vintage photography that's kind of slightly collaged. I don't know if slightly is fair. It might be really collaged. I don't have the kind of trained eye to know for sure. But it really sort of takes me into another time. It's very immersive in that way. It's kind of like some vintage decks, it just feels like a vintage deck. It's so hard to describe. This feels like a box of like memories. It feels like an actual portal to another time in a way. It's really hard to describe. But I had some incredibly powerful readings using this deck, and it's just beautiful, and I really like it. So that is the Carta Postal Tarot. And it paired really beautifully with the Divine Muses. So this deck is so full of depth. If you get a chance to scoop this one up, I definitely recommend it. The guidebook is incredible. It's so good. I would really pull these cards as the basis for my reading, and then I would build on it with the Carta Postal Tarot, and oh my gosh. Like this, oh, there's just so many like rich themes and like really good stuff. Again, really potent readings with this deck as well throughout November. I hadn't worked with such a limited deck selection for a full month for a while, and these were the perfect pairing for that. It was just, they worked so well together. And I kind of had some slight regret because I wanted to pull out the Vintage Wisdom Oracle and pair it with Carta Postal, but I just was enjoying Divine Muses so much that I did not want to stop working with it. So this was the pairing I used, and I used it for all of my readings in November, basically. So really good combo. And then I have 2 honorable mentions. So the first is I really have used my Bonefire Tarot a ton in November. So I used it during our monthly member readings. And I also used it for several client readings in November. I love this deck so much. This is the independent version that I was able to trade for, and I'm so thankful. I love it so much. I love the matte cardstock. I love the size. It works better in bigger spreads for me because it's a little smaller than the mass market version. Love this. Love. I love this deck. So I feel like I know it really well. I feel like it does such a good job for a certain type of question, and I love it. So I had a lot of fun playing with this in November. I also had a ton of fun playing with my Oak, Ash, and Thorn mini. So if you didn't get a chance to pre-order this, I believe it's out now. I think you can get it from Stephanie's Three Trees Tarot site. The Oak, Ash, and Thorn is such a beautiful deck, and this little mini is like, it's everything. It's so cute. It's really great for when you're doing bigger spreads and you want to lay all the cards out. I will also say this is probably going to be a lot easier for smaller hands to shuffle. The shuffle is so good. Listen to this. I'm going to have to bend down so you can hear them, so I can point the microphone at the cards. It's just a really like flexible, it feels a little bit more flexible than the full-size version. The cardstock is thinner, otherwise it would have been impossible to shuffle. So it is a thinner cardstock than the full-size, but it feels so good, and it's such an easy to manage size. Like, look at that. That's just, it's great. So that is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn mini. I use this a bunch of times also in November, and I always love my time that I spend with this deck, but it's just such a foolproof deck for me to use, and I love that, especially for animal decks, because so often they can feel a little hit or miss for me. This one is so good, and I just feel like you can read it out of the box, no problem. So that's it for decks that I worked with in November. Now I have some new things that came in that I want to show you. So the first thing, I have not worked with this yet, so I don't really have a lot of thoughts to share. I just want to show you that I have it. This was actually a surprise sent to me by the creator, so thank you. You know who you are. The Modern Nirvana Oracle. And this is by the same creators as the Amenti Oracle. And it's really different. Look at that. This is like quite a chunky guidebook. So that's exciting. And the artwork is really, really beautiful. But you get sigil cards for some of them. Like these are sigils. And they look like the sort of traditional way of, one of the traditional ways of making sigils. I don't know if that's the case or not. But then you get some of this kind of retro looking artwork. More sigils. You know, it's like a kind of a mix of stuff, but it all feels cohesive. The keywords are incredible. I don't know how I'm going to feel about these sigil cards, if those are going to ultimately resonate or not. We'll see. But I need to work with it a little bit more. The cardstock actually feels kind of nice, at least at first touch. But this is pretty cool, and this is a mass market deck. So I will check that out. Once I have some thoughts, I will definitely share them. And if I work with it like during an upcoming month, I'll obviously share about it in my show and tell as well. So that is the Modern Nirvana Oracle. This one is a Dawn made me do it. So this is the Disney Villains Tarot. This is a Inside Editions. This is my first Inside Editions deck that I've actually held, and I have to say it's decent. It's pretty good. The guidebook is great. They definitely tell you like what characters you're seeing in various cards. And this, as Dawn has pointed out, is less pippish than some of their other decks. And I feel like this one's been out for a little bit. I'd be curious for those of you that have this, how you find working with it. I have played with it a bit, but I have not read with it. So this is the Disney villains. So the majors are all recognizable villains from Disney movies. Obviously, there's a tower for Tangled. But then the minors, that's a court card. The minors are actually real good. Like, to Dawn's point, she mentioned this. I can't remember if she mentioned this in a member video or on a public video, but like, it's much less pippish than like, it's pips in a way, but they feel like they still have characters, or they're still from the world or the worlds that they're depicting. So yeah, it's a little pippish, but it's kind of hybrid scenic pip. Like, whoa, I'm throwing the cards on the ground. Let me try that again. There we go. There's that one. So hopefully it's focused. Hello? Focus? There we go. So you see, I don't know. This one's kind of impressive. And I have to admit, I sort of like the cardstock too. Like, it doesn't feel like the most expensive cardstock ever. But it like feels like it has, you know, like it'll hold up okay. So it's probably, in all honesty, kind of similar-ish to Hay House's cardstock, but it just feels a little less warpy for whatever that's worth. So that is the Disney Villains Tarot. And then Levi sent me his new Oracle deck. So if you have not seen the Brother to Brother Oracle, this was a Kickstarter. And this is a Oracle deck that has a bit of divine masculine yumminess in it. It's really cute. I love the square format. Love that. A lot of decks like this, I think I've mentioned this before, but a lot of decks like this tend to lean very feminine. This is the closest to like a sweet, sort of calming self-care deck I think I've ever seen that feels like it's more masculine in nature as opposed to feminine. And I think that's really cool. I think that's really needed, and it's nice to see it be created by somebody in our community. Love the moon phase card. The keywords on here are real good. Love that. There's a There's another unicorn too. So that's one unicorn. And there's also a unicorn card that shows a boy with a unicorn, which I think is super great. I don't know if I can find it in here now. It's not going to let me find it. Figures. Oh my gosh, look at this one. It's Wonder. It's like a man with wings. I love it. I love it. I love the vibe of this. And it's got a really nice like antique or like matte gilding. Not antique, but like a matte gilding on it. Really pretty. I have not checked out the guidebook yet. But like, look at the packaging too. Like, it's very sleek and fun. This reminds me of the Faunabelle packaging. Love that. Super fun. I also received to check out the Heart Align Affirmations Oracle. Now this one is by Kimberly San, who was the creator of the Way of the Panda Tarot. And I love the Way of the Panda Tarot. Everything Kim creates is so fun and different. And this is the same. Like this is also fun and different is what I'm trying to say. First of all, hello, blingy holographic rainbow edges. I'm literally creating rainbows on my wall and it's everything right now. Anyway, here's what's great about this. So this is an affirmation oracle, but what Kim did, she sort of like added a layer of cool to it because that's what she does. You have your affirmations, but then she's added this beautiful spot gloss. You could see it there in the shape of a heart so that you can read your message. Oh my God, the rainbows are everything. You can read your message and then you can place your thumb over that little spot gloss heart and just focus on drawing that message into yourself. How innovative is that? I just thought that was so cool. Plus, can we talk about these pastel colors? And the kind of messages on here, you guys, I value my thoughts and opinions and I allow myself to express them without apology. Oh my gosh. I celebrate my achievements and wins and I allow myself to feel joy and pride in succeeding. I let go of that belief that I am undeserving of love. Like this is good stuff. I trust in my strength and wisdom to keep myself safe while staying true to myself. Are you kidding me? I continue to take inspired actions towards my aspirations and goals. I know in my heart that I'm divinely guided and led. Love is my biggest inspiration and the source of my deepest magic. I mean, if you want just a really sweet affirmation deck that will support you when things are rough, when you're feeling rough, I feel like this would be a really good one to have. There is a little guidebook. I have not checked it out yet because I feel like this is such a plug and play sort of product. Like you just pull it out, shuffle it up, draw your message, you're good to go. I am really excited to get to know this a little bit better. I mean, it's in this sweet little wraparound box. So I will have that link down below. This is so pretty. I am here for some rainbow holographic detailing. Let me tell you, I love it so much. It's so pretty. I just can't. Let's make rainbows all day. Okay. All right. And finally, if you have not seen my last episode of Say Yes to the Deck, where Peggy helped me pick a deck I'm going to buy, you should pause this and go watch this. Go watch that video because I'm about to spoil the deck that I got because it's already come in and I am elated. So let's see it. The Tarot of Oneness by Robin Voicey. Oh my gosh. Robin Voicey created the Glow Oracle, which is a beautiful animal deck. This though is something really spectacular. I hope to be able to sit down and film a full walkthrough. I think I'm going to use it for a bit first so that I can really get familiar with it because it's really, really beautiful. So she sent an extra moon card because she said there was a line on the moon card she didn't like, and I haven't checked to see what she meant by that. But look at this. Like it comes in this beautiful magnetic box with the ribbon in the bottom and the sleeping critter in there. Are you kidding? So cute. Well, it's not sleeping. It's a little like bunny with its feet up. Oh my God, it's so cute. This one also has quite a chunky guidebook, full color. Look at all the rainbows. I have to tell you, the thing that really attracted me into this deck, which you know if you've seen my Say Yes to the Deck, was all the bright colors and the perspective. This one has a really cool perspective. So let me slide the little, look at this. Look at this virginal unboxing. What do you call this? The edging on this deck, by the way, is like a peachy gold. I just threw the paper on the ground. Do you see what I mean? It's kind of got, it's a warm, really warm toned color. There's the backings. Oh my God, it's so pretty. So there's the Fool. Look at it. Look at it. So it's like you're the Fool. It's like you're looking down into that abyss yourself. In the Magician, you're the one holding all of these energetic, oh, it's so pretty. Okay, let's just skip ahead a bit. The Star, this is stunning with this waterfall. So pretty. Okay, so here's the moon. I don't know. Okay, I literally cannot see Okay, I literally cannot see the line. She said there was a line on the card. This is the moon that was in the deck. This is the extra moon. I'm going to hold them up side by side. If you guys spot the difference, let me know. So the old moon is on your right, I believe. And sorry, wait, hold on. This is the replacement, and this is the original moon card. And I don't see the line that she's talking about. I don't see it. Like, I'm going to trust her, and I'm going to replace my moon card, I think. I'm going to pull the old one out and make sure that they're all exactly the same size. They are. Okay, well, I don't see it, Robin, but I believe you. It's so funny when you're creating something and you're up close with it all the time, you will definitely see things that like nobody else can see. I'm sure it's there. It could just be the lighting. Look at this 3 of Cups. Oh my gosh, with the friends sitting down with cups of tea. Hello, can you focus, please? Look at that. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's so, so good. I'm just going to look at it myself and not share. Apparently, this is the 7 of Wands with the sharks circling. How appropriate is that? Oh my gosh. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This is the 5 of Pentacles. Look at the holes in your socks and the reflection of the window on the snow on the ground in front of you. I mean, it's so clever. This is so clever. It's so good. This Ace of Swords with this parrot giving you a feather. I mean, but the colors though, like seriously. Like, I don't know if you can tell just how freaking vibrant. Oh my God, look at him. Look at him. He's so great. I don't know if you can tell just how vibrant and gorgeous this is, but it is beautiful. I'm not surprised. The Glow Oracle was also vibrant and gorgeous. I'm going to keep this extra moon card in here for a bit because I still don't quite see the difference. Maybe I'll notice it when I'm editing the video though. So I'm going to keep it in there and we shall see. But that is the Tarot of Oneness. Get it all back in the box. That is the Tarot of Oneness by Robin Foisey. Oh my gosh. So excited to have this in my hands. So that is it, my friends. That is all the things from November. I am so excited for December because I'm sharing my entire deck collection. Even those decks I just showed you made it into that video. So I will be talking about everything I own deck-wise. So Tarot, Oracle, Lenormand, all the things. So it should be a lot of fun. I can't remember if when you're seeing this video, if those videos have already began. They may have. Anyway, it was quite the project. I've still got, at the time I'm filming this video, a ton of editing to do. So I'm going to go get to work on that. But I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so, so much for watching. As always, an extra big thank you goes out to the Unicorn fam. Thank you guys so much for supporting what I do here. It really, really makes a difference. And to those of you watching, thank you for spending your time here on this channel. Otherwise, this would be no fun at all. As always, thank you for your likes, your shares, and your subscribes. All the little things you do to engage with the content really, really help. Thank you so, so much, and may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye.